What is up, everyone? This is the Midnight Enigmas, and today, for me personally, I'll be talking about the Lonestar ticks that are super spreading with the alpha gel syndrome that bioethicists want to spread into humanity.
Deep in the wilderness of Canada, a man convinced followers that he was a prophet, had one of the most horrifying cults of modern history, involving torture, mutilation, psychological control, and murder. This is the story of the Anthill Kids.
And the world's deadliest song. Can a song actually kill you, or is it just going to be referenced in the most suicide notes in the world's history tonight?
So, Rock Thériault, is a French,
It's gotta be some kind of weird foreigner right off the bat.
Yeah. Was born in Quebec, May 16th, 1947, in a poor French Canadian.
What a surprise. What a surprise.
Yeah. Well, just title.
Hey, I read too. I'll have to read mine too. I wrote mine out in story form though.
DR was frequently beaten by his stepfather throughout his childhood, and his mother was too scared to protect him from the abuse. As usual, that's kind of how they have these childhoods, unfortunately.
So is it just a dude we're learning about?
His cult. Just a little bit of backstory. He dropped out of school, but then in the mid-1970s, he convinced a group of people to leave their jobs and homes and join him in a religious movement. Formed the cult in 1977 in Quebec with a goal of forming a commune where people could freely listen to motivational speeches live in unity and equality. It convinced them that he was a prophet, and that in 1979 he used the commune to prepare for it. He moved his followers to a remote area in Quebec known as the Eternal Mountain. There the group built cabins, farms, shelters entirely by hand, while Thériault, or Rock, I'm going to call him Rock because that last name's difficult, ruled over them with total control. According to the reports, he compared his members to ants working endlessly on an anthill, giving the birth name to the cult, the Anthill Kids.
That's sad. I can't imagine being part of something, being called fucking ants, but
and still wouldn't have followed.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, he just not let people leave. Once they got there, he just wouldn't let them leave. How could you stop them?
Yes, technically, yeah. Rock began isolating members from family and outsiders. He controlled who they spoke to, and who he slept with, and what they thought. Yeah.
Whoa,
I'm telling you, bro, this guy's the shit that happened, dude.
Whoa, is he like one of those types that just goes in and looks at you like, okay, you can have sex with her now, but you gotta let me watch?
Oh my gosh.
Is he like one of those?
Well, it sounds like he's probably using it as a form of control, or just his own deviancy to do it, with whoever he wanted to, or control the couples himself somehow. I don't know.
You can't have sex until I had the threesome with you guys.
Don't mind me. I'm just in the corner.
If it was modern century, he would have probably had a fucking camera pointed at the
Don't mind me. I'm in the corner with a jar of mayonnaise.
Wait till you hear this part, bro. Wait till you fucking hear this part.
Oh no.
Alright, listen to this shit. To explain his community as well as keep the members devoted, Rock married and impregnated all the women in the community, fathering over 20 children with non-female members of the group. And by 1980s, they were all nearly 40 members. Followers were made to wear identical tunics and represent equality of their devotion and to the community.
What the heck?
What was that? Jesus Christ, he fucking... What? Fucking Genghis Khan POV? What the fuck? Fucking all bitches like that. Holy shit.
That's crazy. He had how many kids?
Oh my...
20.
20 kids
20.
with
20.
9 different women.
God Almighty.
How did this seed work?
So did they just get rid? He just get rid of all the guys, or he had them so emasculated they just let them be with the women that they came
No,
in?
there was guys there.
Did he fuck the guys too?
No.
I mean, it's a valid
No, he didn't do
question, I
that.
guess.
Well, at least it never says anywhere that he did. But we'll get into them in a minute.
Dude, he probably... Dude, there's gotta be some sex disease that spread between them. Like, goddamn.
Well, I mean, if y'all trapped in a camp, ain't nothing else coming in if you didn't bring it in to begin
I
with.
would not be surprised.
Yeah, if you
I guarantee I would not be surprised. He stuck this dick around anything. He stuck it around like 20 fucking women before he probably stuck it in a fucking tree, a fucking man, a fucking dog.
That's crazy.
Like, he has to. I guarantee you, he's that fucked up of an individual. Because 20, like, how many women?
8.
Yeah,
was it
9.
8 or 9, yeah. That's
Oh,
crazy.
8 or 9. I thought you said 20.
No, he had
I was
20
like,
kids.
fuck.
He had 20 kids by 9 women, yeah.
That's crazy,
Oh.
bro.
9? God almighty.
And as the years passed, Rock spiraled deeper into paranoia and alcoholism, and then the abuse escalated, as usual. Yeah, this is where it starts getting a little raunchy, man.
Oh no.
It wasn't before.
no.
Following the cult's formation, Rock began to move further and further into his drinking problems, worsening, increasing totalitarian control over their lives. His followers became irrational in his beliefs. Members were not allowed to speak to each other when he was not present, nor to sex with one another without his permission. Rock used his charisma to cover his increasingly abusive and erratic behavior, and none of the members questioned his judgment or openly blamed him.
Are you
How-
fucking
I-
shitting me? Are you fucking
Any
are they
physical,
fucking
mental, or
retarded?
emotional damage. Like, how?
Are they- How?
the fuck
How
do
do you
you-
not blame? How do you not blame the man who's fucking mind raping you? Fucking hell! What type of fucking charisma stat did he max the fuck out to fucking just convince motherfuckers? What?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I've always asked that about these cult leaders and stuff. Is how in
How
the
do
world
you
you get some?
let this happen?
yeah,
how do you
get
let
so many
one
people-
motherfucker do this?
Yeah, how do you get so many
Yeah.
people to follow you, leave everything?
I can't imagine being fooled by a charismatic man enough to like actually have to ask for his permission. I don't know, to go in the bathroom and fucking wank the meat.
Rock began to inflict more punishment on the followers that he considered to stray by spying on them. And if a person wished to leave the commune, Rock would hit them with a belt or a hammer and suspend them from the ceiling and pluck each of their body hairs individually.
Oh!
Or even defecate on them.
Dang.
Oh my
That's
fucking
fucking
god.
gross.
And like I said,
Oh my
the rest of the
fucking
people
God.
witnessed this and still stayed. That's just crazy. Did anybody ever escape
And he'll
it?
kill.
Or
I think so.
okay, well that's a little bit of something, but God Almighty. All right.
I wonder-
Raise
hey,
money.
Funny
For
joke,
what?
funny joke, funny joke. I wonder if he became an alcoholic because he had to now pay for like child support for 20 kids.
He raised money by living by selling baking goods, and members who did not bring enough money was also punished. Over time,
Damn.
Rock's punishments became increasingly extreme and violent, including making members break their own legs with sledgehammers,
What?
sit on lit stoves, shoot each other in the shoulders, and eat dead mice and feces. Sometimes when
How?
he would get drunk enough, he would have his children line up, and he would just casually just throw fucking knives at them,
How in the
almost
living?
hitting them Like, no, he wouldn't try to hit him, but he'd come very close to hitting him. To scare
His
him.
own kids.
How in the
Yeah.
How in the are they gonna listen to some guy and bash their kneecaps in? Future, the walking fucking legs that gives them, a life. Oh my god.
Yeah, people.
That actually triggers me.
So what
Yeah.
year was this? What years was this going on?
1980.
In the 80s.
In the fucking 80s. Are you
In
fucking
France. That's crazy.
Canada.
Oh, Canada. Oh, he was a French guy, French Canadian. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, let's be real. Hill Canadians are always crazy. Okay, I'm gonna lay down the hammer. They're always crazy. Never trust a
Hey,
fucking Canadian.
Sorry, Canadian listeners. He doesn't represent his views and opinions. Doesn't represent all the views and opinions of Midnight Enigmas. Thank you for that.
Okay.
I don't worry, we have weird people too.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like I'm telling you, like, dude, if you want to go, like, I'm not trying to make this 3 hours or whatever, because we all three have stories. But just for summarize, this is kind of what it is, just to get the information out there. If you want more in depth, we could probably do like a couple episodes about it or something. I don't know. But a follower would also sometimes ask to be cut off their followers' toes with wire cutters to prove loyalty.
What the? What?
I'm trying to get to how was this religious based at all? Like he got them in the woods or wherever they went, isolation, by saying it was a
He
religious
would tell
cult.
him that he was a prophet, and that every option or choice that was caused that he did
Was from God.
was quote from.
That's crazy.
You know what? No.
And they would-
I would have never believed a dumb motherfucker like that. I would just point my middle finger at him, telling him, "Look at this, you stupid pussy," and fucking walked away. Cause there is no fucking shot I will ever do that to someone, cutting off their fucking toes with a fucking wire, or
that's wild.
destroying
destroying my own kneecaps. That is some. You have to be like inbred.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Dude, this is like some crazy, like, I'm like reading more, like, oh my god. The abuse extended to cutting the cult's children, and who were sexually abused, held over
Oh,
fires,
no.
nailed to trees, while other children threw stones at them. One of Rock's
No.
wives left a newborn child outside to die in freezing
No.
temperatures once
No.
to keep him away from the abuse.
Wow.
Okay, Rock attempted to backtrack to the original religious mission of the commune, beginning to strongly believe in purifying his followers and ridding them of their sins through abusive purification sessions where the members would completely be nude, and as he whipped and beat them, Rock claimed to be claimed to be a holy being and started performing an unnecessary amateur surgical operations on sick members to demonstrate his healing powers. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh my god.
These surgeries included injecting 98% of ethanol solution into stomachs and performing circumcisions on the children and the adults of the group.
Oh my god.
That's
So
crazy.
it's like the AI image of the current president that, blasphemy with Jesus, but instead this guy is crazy enough to actually do it. Fucking inject shit. Probably cut their fucking dicks off, to be honest with you. Let's be fucking real. Like, oh my god, I did not need to know that.
Social workers, someone eventually notified social workers, and they ended up just removing 17 children from the commune. However, Rock faced no repercussions for his abusive acts.
Golly.
Go
So
what? You're
someone
fucking
ran
joking.
off, told social workers, and they took the children and did nothing else. In 1987, a couple years go by. 1989, we pick it back up. There was a follower who complained that they had an upset stomach. Rock performed another amateur surgery without anesthesia. He laid her naked on a table and punched her in the stomach and then forced a plastic tube into her rectum
Oh
to perform
my!
a crude enema
Enema.
with molasses and olive oil. He cut her open from the abdomen with a knife and then ripped out a part of her intestines with his bare hands
What the?
and said,
What the?
I
fuck?
have the problem. He then sewed her back up
Oh my!
where
Oh
she ended up
My!
dying 2 days later to gangrene.
What in the world, man?
What?
It's like,
What?
first of all, let me start this surgery by just laying you down and punching you in the stomach. You're fixed. Healed.
Imagine that's how doctors deal with pregnancy.
Oh my
Like, oh, the
God.
baby's kicking you. Punch it. Bam! I am so disgusted at what I just heard.
I just
by
can't.
the way.
I can't imagine. I've always said I can't imagine getting sucked into one of these cults or whatever. But regardless, let's just hypothetically say that I did. Once I get there and crap like this is going on, but I'm out. Like, if I was conned enough to get there, I'm definitely not going to see this stuff and stick around for my turn to be on that table. There ain't no way, bro. I'm out.
That's
I know,
fucking.
and
I'm
People-
fighting every step of the way. I don't care what it takes to get out.
Yeah, he said that the apocalypse was going to occur in the near future, which people did not start questioning his wisdom, but defended him
Oh my god.
by saying that the time on Earth is in God's world was not parallel. Therefore, it was a miscalculation. So he had calculated that the world was going to end, and I don't know, that shit is stupid. How the fuck? Ain't no damn way, dude.
Did he?
That happened.
Is it by any chance that the people he, convinced to be part of his cult had an IQ below 50?
Probably a
Is there-
100%. How the fuck you gonna sit there and let a dude do that?
I just can't, bro. I am so stunned that I think I'm running. I can't even fucking say words anymore. I'm so fucking. Just go on. Just fucking go on.
Claiming to have the power of resurrection. This is fucking gross. Oh my god. So this is the first person to die within his group. This is fucking nasty. Can I even? Fuck it. We ball. Okay. Claiming to have power of resurrection, Rock and his followers sawed off the cap of her skull, and he began to ejaculate onto her brain.
What the world?
What? What?
Thinking it would fix it?
Yeah. Oh my
When she
God.
did not return back to life, he then buried her, and then he had
Oh
another idea.
My.
He had
No.
another fucking idea.
Before you say
2
it,
weeks
before you
go
fucking
by.
say it.
2 weeks
Before
go by.
you fucking say it. Before you say it. You mean to tell me he fucking performed a form of necrophilia and presented that as fucking resurrection? Oh
Wait,
my
it
fucking-
gets fucked up, dude.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So all the circumcision guys, right? 2
Yeah.
weeks go by, and he thinks of another idea to see if it could bring her back. He digs her up, and then he does it, and then he has all the men in the group do it also.
Golly.
Onto the same spot.
My.
The
That
brain.
is a violation. That is
She's
a
already
fucking violation.
decomposing, bruh.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
That is pretty weird.
What the?
This
Oh.
is the part where he starts getting... Okay, so
Oh no, it gets worse.
Lavie, which is one of the women that was a part of his group, underwent harsh treatment in the late 80s. She had suffering a welded torch burn to her genitals, a hypodermic needle breaking off in her back, 8 of her teeth being forcibly removed. She then attempted to escape from the commune after Rock cut off a piece of her breast and smashed her head in with the blunt side of the axe. She went and told somebody, but they didn't believe it. But then she, for some fucking reason, went back, and upon her return, he then removed one of her fingers with the wire cutters, pinned her head to a wooden table with a hunting knife, and used it as a cleaver to amputate her arm. Cut her fucking arm off. Right at the elbow.
Oh, what the?
In the 1989, Rock was arrested for assault after Levi, it's another French Canadian name, Lava, had fled again. Should have just stayed gone. She had fled again and contacted the authorities. Dude, fucking crushed her head in, dude. Oh my god.
Arrested?
There's pictures of her too. Yeah. Rock was arrested after the assault after she had fled again and contacted the authorities, effectively dissolving the anthill kids. Authorities had a long-held suspicion that Rock's cult, due to the particularly primitive living conditions of its memberships, but because of the commune was officially registered as a church, officials were legally unable to investigate the adults and could not do much except ensure that the welfare of the children. Rock was found guilty of the assaults for the amputation of Levi's arm. I'm saying that name completely wrong, by the way. Received a sentence of 12 years of imprisonment. The vast majority of the cult's followers abandoned Rock after his arrest, but during his imprisonment, he fathered another 4 children with the remaining female members during the conjugal visits. Levi reported to allow further investigation into Rock's actions, exposing the wilder abuses that the communities and Saulage murder, which is the one he murdered and tried to bring back. In 1993, Rock pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for the death of Bullard and was sentenced to life imprisonment in 2000. Rock was then transferred to Dorcher Penitentiary, a medium security prison in New Bernwick. In 2002, Rock was rejected for parole, and he was considered too high risk to reoffend, and he had never applied again. In 2009, Rock tried to sell his artwork on the United States-based website murderauction.com, which called itself a true, quote-unquote, true crime action house. Auction. Fucking cross-eyed. And was willing to sell some of Throt's drawings and portraits. The Correctional Service of Canada prevented Rock's work leaving Dorcher Penitentiary. The Canadian Federal Public Safety Minister at the time wrote that to express his concern that the killer was benefiting from his work in prison. And on February 26, 2011, at age 63, Rock was found dead in his cell at Dorcher Penitentiary. His death is believed to be a result of an altercation with his cellmate, Matthew Geralt, a 60-year-old convicted murderer who was charged with the killing. MacDonald pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was having a second sentence to life prison. Having already been serving a life sentence before murder charge, McDonald's had stabbed Thurek in the neck with a sheave, walked to the officer stations, handed them the weapon, and proclaimed that, quote, "That piece of shit is down on the range. Here is the knife. I've sliced him up."
Golly.
You know what? W for that guy who fucking killed him. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Fucking W. Because that piece of shit should have been dead instantly. They should have fucking executed his ass, Town of Salem style. Cause what in the living
bro.
only fucking prison? Get the fuck out of here.
What happened to the
Get that shit out of here.
What happened to his followers? Like the rest of his followers? Did any of them get in trouble, or did they just?
They just got let go back in the wild, basically.
Nobody knows what happened to them. It sounded like it was just a torture cult. And that's what it sounded like to me. These people.
All right, one of y'all's turn. That's my story on the Anthill Kids. Like I said, that was a summary of the beginning to the end.
Twisted.
All right. I guess I'll start next. Okay.
Anyway,
so
Mr. Pika.
Yeah. So anyway, since it's my turn, do you know the Lonestar tick?
Yep.
Anyone raise your hand?
Yeah.
Just pretend I raised my hand. That Lane will edit it in. And since we all know what the Lonestar tick, you also know about the Al-Gal syndrome or Alpha-Gal syndrome. But do any of you know the Alpha-Gal syndrome?
Hell yeah, it
Oh,
scares the
shit.
fuck out of me.
Actually,
Scares the freak out of me.
I don't.
bad.
If you don't know what an
Yeah.
Alpha-Gal syndrome is, viewers, to explain, it is a type of thing you would see in some animals. And if we get it, since we actually lack the gene and all that shit that comes with it, and due to the fact that fucking cells will fight against it, or antivirus, I don't know what it's exactly called, but they fight against it like diseases. Yeah, antibiotics, yeah.
Yeah, antibodies.
They fight antibodies. They fight against those type of diseases and all that shit. And it's not even just diseases, but any foreign type of substance, right? Any foreign type of substance. And well, I don't know how to say this lightly because we're all Americans, and I think we all like a meat. But if you get bit by a Lonestar tick that has the Alpha-Gal syndrome, and it transfers to you, and the probability of you being susceptible to it is quite low. But if you are susceptible, then what happens is that when your antibodies fight it and all that shit, you'll become allergic to red meat.
Right.
That's right.
That sucks.
That means no hamburgers, no cheeseburgers, no American Dream, none of that.
No hot dog.
American Dream.
And recently, this been going up in the waves. Like,
It is.
for instance, on Twitter, like I was scrolling through Twitter, so I was scrolling through X, as the the New Age calls it. I was scrolling through the website, liking a few hentai and all that shit, and I just fucking see a post talking about the tick ranges moving, and I was like, uh-oh. Because I don't like ticks, by the way. I think they're disgusting. Even if not knowing about Alpha-Gal and shit. But like, I started, click on the post, I look at the image. The tick range is moving. A bioethics paper calls promoting tick-borne Alpha-Gal syndrome morally obligatory. And I'm like, are these people serious? Why would you want a spread? Why would you promote this? And why would you call it morally obligatory? And it shows like two timelines, two time frames. Before 1966, historic Lone Star tick range, and it was the Deep South, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, fucking all the way to Virginia. Not even in Kentucky, funnily enough. Just the highest up it reaches like Tennessee.
So I wonder if the air quote global warming, all the other states are getting warm enough for the ticks to survive, and the further north.
Possibly.
I
But
don't
there's
like
also things
like
about
money.
these bioethicists that I do not like, and I'll get to why in a bit. But the other year it shows is 2026. It has extended all the way to the eastern side, just the northern eastern side of the United States, and it goes all the way up to Minnesota. It reached quite a bit into the west coast, but not west coast, to the west side of the country, but it has not reached the west coast, and
them ticks can't climb
some
the
of the
Rocky
plains.
Mountains.
Yeah, I'm about to move to the fucking rocky ass mountains at this point. But like,
Go South Dakota.
when you look at this, it's like why are they spreading so much? Of course, like you said, it could be heating, like global warming, because climate change and all that shit. However, when I say promoting tick-borne AGS is morally obligatory, you can't help but think of this like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yo.
This screenshot is from an article or research I did from 2 bioethicists that want to fucking bioengineer ticks, the Lonestar ticks, or just ticks in general, to have the AGS, alpha-gal syndrome. They want these people, they want to spread this shit to fucking actual people. I don't for fucking knows why. Maybe they're just vegans that are just like brain dead and fucking stupid. I don't know. But they want to spread that shit to humanity so we can stop eating fucking meat. And I think that's fucked up.
450,000 affected.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal as far as I'm concerned. Because like the U.S. government, I'm gonna put my opinion on this, and strictly my opinion, unless y'all agree. The U.S. government is openly admitted to experimenting with ticks and everything else, and that's how we got Lyme disease to begin with. If you look that up, that is a conspiracy theory, but it's also pretty fucking true. So
let me guess, bioethics is also the reason why they fucking did that shit?
And shit escaped, and that's what it started. So that's basically where everybody says Lyme disease came from, is through ticks. So it's so hard to spot them, and they hide on your body and places that you have to physically check. And so by the time you see them, you already got it. You're already infected regardless or not, once they're embedded.
Yeah.
So,
you know what?
But like I said, they've already experimented trying to get us off meat. They're already trying to do this, all these veggie burgers and all these fast food chains coming up with all these no meat things and everything else. They're trying like hell to get us off
now it's all
dependent.
disappeared.
They're trying to, well, that's because they don't sell. It don't work. It's not good.
Yeah.
So what else can they do? They can't, it's not selling, so then they have to force you. And the only way they can force you, say, hey man, you're allergic to meat, you eat it, you could die. And the only way they can do that is to infect you with this stuff. So is it government engineered? Is it in a lab somewhere to get us off meat, get us off the dependency of farmers? I don't know.
I hope not, dude.
I think it's one.
Right.
I do agree that is a conspiracy theory, but I do think, knowing our government and knowing how the world works, I think it is a huge possibility.
Is it RFK? Isn't RFK trying to push for real meat to be back too?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
RFK Jr. I think it was.
I think he is. Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy because like he's trying to push all this shit. I mean, to be fair, he does have brain worms, so he probably wouldn't notice this shit. But like,
is that real?
Yeah, he had actual brain worms. Probably from the bioemphasis, to be honest with you. But at this point,
brain worms.
Like, God almighty. That does suck. But honestly, all this is so fucking awful, man. And
I got really.
This might be harsh to say, but these bioethicists that do support this type of shit, they need to be. I want to bring back the torture method. And like, just make it like Unit 731 from Japan, because at this point, this is just tick terrorism.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah. I think it
has to be. It's terrorism at this point.
Yeah, I think if you're part of it and you get exposed to being part of it, I think you should be infected with what you created or you helped create. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
You should have to live with it, and because you tried to infect the whole world with it or whatever, I think they should give it to you.
Bro.
I mean, like, go out in the world and don't eat meat and see how long you can survive. I mean, people are vegetarians, they can live, so it's not that much of a punishment unless you're like meat and stuff like that. So, but I
like meat.
The enjoyment is gone.
I just truly think if you're part of it, that's the way you should be infected. So, if you're going to create things that cause death, then so be it. That's your death sentence. Here it is. You created this shit. Now you don't die with it. Whatever. I think that
Does that affect the taste of it? Can you just stick it in your mouth, taste it, and spit it out?
I don't like I said, I don't know. I know it's.
I guess that would be
I
one
am-
way
I know
to
it's once
overcome
your
that
body can
loss of
ingest it.
limit.
Your body can ingest
I
it.
am tempted. I am tempted to
Dude,
say
that graph's crazy
for these
though.
for
It's
these
like, what, 10
assholes.
states right there? Now it's half the United States.
Yeah.
Aw, dude.
Yeah, I am tempted to say, by the way, about these piece of shits. I think that unironically they would deserve the fucking treatment that the guy in Andrew's story did. Fucking Rock Terrio or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be a biggest piece of shit ever to just do that to people like that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
And
at
also,
all, bro.
what's crazy right now? Just literally today, by the way, I was going through Twitter again, okay, and then I see a post talk about how fucking Bill Gates or some shit was funding, tick research.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I'll
he
be
wants
real with
half
you.
the population to die. He's like Thanos. I don't know if you've never noticed that or heard about those stories or
I
whatever.
want to say this. Just don't fucking do this shit. Just don't fucking do this shit and fucking ruin humanity. You guys are a bunch of fucking worthless assholes with a goddamn bunch of cocks in your fucking mouth. You're probably in the fucking Epstein files too. Actually, isn't Bill Gates in the Epstein files? I think he is actually. So you know what? A bigger
He's want
fuck.
half the population. to
Well,
die.
I mean,
That's
the
crazy.
thing is, like I said, that's their ultimate goal. Supposedly, that's their ultimate goal
Dude, it's
is
like-
to lower the population down to a controllable factor.
Mhm.
So, I mean, even if you look at it at that, even if like all the speculation and craziness is for the control, because all these millionaires are building bunkers and underground stuff, so you can't have livestock underground. But you
No.
can bring in heat lamps and grow plants. You can do all this stuff, but you can't. I mean, necessarily can't have livestock to survive on. So you infect them, you infect them with stuff where they can't eat meat. They don't want to eat meat. They can survive underground long enough to survive
That's so sad.
whatever they think's coming, or whatever they know's coming, and ain't telling nobody else, or whatever that case may be. Like the
It's like, dude, these guys get rich, and that's like their only fucking solution. It's like, oh, we met our goal. What the fuck do we do now?
well, I mean,
That's what it.
I
it
have
seems like.
I have an idea for them. Instead of fucking, forcing us to fucking become allergic to goddamn meat, essential part of being a human being, how about you just put a noose around your neck? Okay?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, the biggest part of
We
this
should probably just-
biggest part of this tick conspiracy that I thought you were going to mention is where, supposedly all these farmers in these states that never had it before are finding boxes in their fields with ticks in it.
Oh.
That they got dropped in.
Oh.
All these
Oh my
boxes
God,
got
yeah.
dropped into these people's farmland and stuff. They never had these ticks before, but now they do. And they came in, they're finding
Oh
these
my
boxes of
God.
these tick nests and stuff, whatever. It's like, where are they coming from? Where are those boxes of ticks coming from? Like, who's dropping them in there? How did they get to?
The government is dropping the fucking ticks like it's fucking Fortnite loot boxes.
Yeah, I mean, is that real? I don't know.
Oh
Is people just making up stuff to put it on the internet? I don't know that. I don't know. I don't live in these areas to know that. But I mean, if you take it at face value, then they're getting there somehow, or people are just people can spread misinformation. We all know that. So but they could be just feeding into the conspiracy or adding to it themselves, because I don't know it to be true. But I do know that it's being reported and it's being talked about that they're finding boxes in their fields. Where's that shit coming from? If
Yeah,
that's
imagine
true.
you just walking outside, you see a fucking box, like, oh, look at this, a
Dude,
box.
dude,
It's
ticks
on Leave Me
freak
shit.
me
It's just a
out
bunch
for
of
that
fucking
reason,
ticks.
bro.
Well, I'm gonna knock on.
Like,
I'm gonna
for
knock
that-
on wood. I ain't never had one, but in the same breath,
I was.
sorry, I thought.
Here the poltergeist. The poltergeist is saying
I don't know if it's getting ready to storm
it was
or
Bill.
what.
It was Epstein that did the fucking tick shit. Ooh.
I ain't never had no tick, but I don't go.
I got.
I mean, when I was a
I
kid,
had
I was
one
in the
tick on
woods,
me,
but that was
and
it.
I pulled it off like easily.
I got real close to having a ticket.
I saw one from
I-
a mile away.
No, it was crawling on my back, bruh.
Mm,
Oh,
Yeah, no, we had this little science experiment for senior year back in like 2023. We was doing like water molecules or microscope of water samples and shit from like rivers, and he wanted like water samples so we can look and see like all the bio shit and like micro shit in the water. With fucking what the hell those things are called? I can't remember what the hell they're called. Telescopes.
Microscope.
No, that's microscopes.
So you had to go collect the water and almost got a tick. See how quick that
I
story
collected
is?
my water sample and I was getting back to the car and felt something crawling on my back. And Alexis was in the car. I was like, oh, there's something crawling on me. Look. And she lifts my shirt. Then there's one crawling on my back. She, break. Oh, shit. Didn't get to bite me. I still get to eat my burgers and I get to eat my ham.
To be fair,
He's
not
had- he's
all
had a
ticks
t-
have fucking...
He's had a tick in his crack since 2003 and don't even know it.
Listen,
That's just
Andrew,
a tick you
Andrew.
saw that was on your back. The rest of them done and crawled on in you.
Listen, not all ticks have
they
alpha
scared me.
go, to be fair.
I panic sometimes when
I had a tick on my fucking leg and I pulled that bitch out and fucking knocked its ass.
Yeah.
Somehow I didn't accidentally break its head.
Not like 2 days ago, and I thought it was a tick. I was like, what the hell? I was like, oh god, I hope that wasn't a tick. I was like, oh, you can't squish ticks.
Yeah.
Speaking of ass crack, I got a real funny story involving a tick.
Oh god.
Oh boy. So, back when I was a young lad, okay, I was afraid of bugs, and I still don't like bugs. Let's be real. Nobody likes bugs unless you're a freak. But like,
Not pointless. That's all.
I don't like bugs. But like, I was just sitting around one time, and like, we was like, I don't know, burning shit, I guess. And I was like, big black tick. Ooh, freaky. It's like this big. I don't know how to describe it. It's like an inch big. It's like, ooh. And my dad's like, oh, don't be a sissy. He picked it up and put it in his pocket.
That's the part I
Some
don't understand about
fucking
this story.
reason.
Why would you put a tick in your pocket?
For
I'm gonna keep this for later.
some fucking reason, he grabbed it and put it in his pocket. Like, see, it's just a little fella. And I was like, fucking weird. And after we burned all that shit, and being done all that shit, went inside the house. Hours later, he's in the bathtub in the bathroom. Technically, that was my room, by the way.
The bathroom was your room?
My bedroom was also a bathroom. Yeah, we had 2
Dang.
bathrooms.
That's a story
two
for another
bathrooms.
time.
And
Sleep next to the
he
shitter.
was fucking, dude. He was crying so bad. He was like whining and shit. It's like he was telling my mom to get it out. It's like, there's a tick up my ass.
Tick up my ass. That's funny, but
He
not
was
funny.
such a little. He was whining like a little bitch.
I mean, it's funny because he did it to himself, but I mean, it's not really funny to have a tick on you. But regardless, it's funny because he did it to. I can't figure out why you want to stick a tick in your pocket to save it for later, and then when you get it later, it's in your ass. For safekeeping, he tried to put it in his jail
I
pocket.
kid you not, when I him and
Tried to put
whining
it in
about
his
the
prison
fucking
purse.
tick, I was crying. I was laughing. That shit was so fucking funny.
Andrew's dead.
And it was so. And I made so many jokes. I made so many jokes of it too.
Hey, don't get out there, tick him out.
There's a dick in my ass.
He probably sitting in the
I'm
bathroom
so
like, damn.
sorry.
I
That
don't.
ain't funny, but damn.
I don't know how
The
I
way
never.
you said that was hysterical.
I don't know how I've never ended up with a tick. Like I don't. Like I said, I know. I mean, I'm so pale. Look at me, dude. I work third shift, so like I see 20 to 30 minutes worth of sunlight a day for the last 20 years. I don't go outside. I don't have. But when I was a kid, man, I used to run the hills and the mountains and explore and do all this stuff in Garrett County and. Manchester, was that Estill County? Like we would go all over, not Estill County, I can't think, Clay County. We'd go all over up in the mountains and the woods, and I never once had one. And I don't know if there just wasn't as prevalent back in those days, or what? I
Well,
don't
if you look at the graph, they weren't even in Kentucky.
Well, I mean, those particular ticks, but ticks have existed. It's just those Lone Star ticks or
Yeah.
whatever that graph was actually stating. But I mean, there's ticks exist everywhere. It's just not the ones that can.
Just the ones that make you. not
Yeah,
be able to eat.
but I've never had one.
Yeah.
I've never had one ever that I, obviously that I would have known by now. But I just never. I don't know if it's just extremely lucky or I just got blood they don't want no part of.
Yeah, me too. Because like I've played football since I was like since I could run,
Yeah.
carry a ball. And so like I played in like rural fields and stuff that are just straight grass
Yeah.
that haven't been cut in like 2 days and shit like that. But, like, I guess I don't know.
And even the property behind, that's probably the last time I was really in the woods, is like the property over behind your granny's house, my mom's house, across the creek and down in that creek area. I mean, I just showed y'all a short film that I did just the other day. Just yesterday,
you're
laying in the grass,
tall ass grass.
laying in the,
It's like
in
taller
the
than
grass,
you,
wrapped
you're
in a
laying
blanket,
down.
and for that film, and that was just one take. I had to do that several times. Never got anything, and I'm like real close to fucking chest high grass and stuff, in the weeds and bushes. Never got it. I mean, I've just been extremely lucky, is all I know, or they just don't like my blood or something. I don't know what to tell you.
Hopefully we're cursed with the same blood.
Yeah. I mean, all I know is I was always told the bad shit don't grow in bourbon, so I keep as much bourbon in my bloodstream as I possibly can.
Now, I have a question.
That works, I guess.
So because of that tick was like big and black, does that mean my dad took a BBC?
Yeah, a BBT.
A BBT.
He likes the BBT.
Yo, my
he-
face hurts.
He didn't like that when he was crying
Oh my
about
God,
it. So
I'm
I
so
don't know about
sorry
that.
for that.
I got a BBT in my ass.
Just the way you said that. Help, I got a tick in my ass. Damn it, I can't get
That's
out.
gonna be a soundbite at the end. Help! I got a tick in my ass.
Got a damn tick in my ass.
I guess you could say he got molested by a tick.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, they are nasty creatures. I don't know. There's some things that make you.
What's their purpose?
Yeah.
What's their
That's what I was going to say. It
purpose?
makes you wonder what part of the ecosystem do they help? What do they? 'Cause I feel like I truly do feel like everything was created for a purpose. But what's that purpose? Like what?
I don't know, man.
Like I don't
There's so
know.
many creatures that can do so much harm to us, but it's like they do nothing to help anything out in the ecosystem.
It's a punishment
not-
towards humanity's sins.
Not that we
I
know.
guess. I don't know.
Not that we know of, anyway. Or that I can even think of. I don't know what they would
I'm gonna look it up. What's the purpose of a tick?
like. What do they? What
To
do
be
they?
up your ass.
What do they help? Like in ecosystems and.
Well, actually, they serve no intentional purpose in the human sense, but they play a critical ecological role.
Yeah.
They act as a vital food source for birds, amphibians, reptiles, help regulate wildlife populations by culting sick or weak animals,
Okay.
and serving as a natural indicator of an ecosystem's overall health. Damn it!
Oh yeah, I kind of
Wait.
kind of overlooked the fact that
Question.
birds and stuff could eat them.
Does chickens eat it? Do chickens eat them?
It's possible, yeah. I would, yeah.
It says ticks
did see-
extract
I have
energy
chickens.
and nutrients
What?
from larger host animals in the food chain and transfer them to smaller organisms
I did-
that eat tick.
I did see this cool video talking about. I would assume they ate ticks.
And I do have birds.
I would assume they ate ticks, but I saw a cool video of this dude let his dog had got fleas outside or whatever, and I guess he didn't. He was getting ready to do the tick bath and everything, but he was literally had the dog land and he was combing its fur back or whatever, and he's on a farmland, and one of his chickens came up and was eating the fleas off the dog. It's helping him clean the flea. It was kind of cool. I seen it about
That's cool,
2 or 3 weeks ago. So he's like, well, hell, this chicken's eating the fleas. Help me get some of them off. So he's taking his hand and combing the dog's fur back, and the chicken was just eating the ticks or the fleas up. I was like, nah.
That's why
cool
we
video,
should
bro.
that's why we should like chickens more often.
There's
Chickens are awesome.
scientific values to these guys too.
Yeah.
Tick saliva which naturally prevents blood clotting and reduce inflammation, are extensively studied by researchers to develop new pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah, I said that I would.
Son of a bitch!
They have to help
We
something.
can't use something else.
I just don't think that anything.
These little
I don't think
bastards have to exist. I like my meat, man.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean that stuff. I don't feel like they did any of that on their own. I truly don't. I think Lyme disease, and I think whatever
Lyme
this.
disease is created.
I think Lyme disease, and I think whatever this is, whatever you said, this syndrome or whatever it is, where people get sick off me. I think it's man-made. I think it's engineered, and the ticks are the best thing that can carry them. That's what. You can call me conspiracy theorist, whatever you want. That's what I say. I don't think that would ever happen naturally in nature. I just don't. I could be wrong. I'll stand on that hill.
Honestly, I don't really have much else to say about it.
I know talking about
Because I
ticks
mentioned
make
all
me
the
itch.
interesting things, and I
Yeah, man, I'm
talk
ready
about a
to
funny story.
Fleas and ticks
You
got
know
me
it.
itching over here.
Yeah, make sure you check your butthole.
Yeah, we gotta stop talking about this shit. You're making me itch all over.
I know. I done itched my neck and shit like 3 times.
Fleas and ticks and shit.
But I know one who has not scratched anything. That's so funny. But I'll say this. It is now Lane's turn.
Oh god.
And now your turn, Lane, is to talk to us. What is your story of the night?
I wrote this in like story form, kind of storyboarded it out, told it like a story. So I go in depth a little bit about the creators of this song, and then what the song did. So it's a song called Gloomy Sunday, and it is historically the most referenced. Well, I'll leave that at the end. I already kind of teased it a little bit in the intro. So there we go. We'll start this. On an overcast, chilly Sunday in the fall of 1932, a composer named, we're going to call him Rizzo, he sat in his apartment in Paris trying to write a new melody. He'd been trying for hours and had not been going well. Each time he jotted down a new combination of notes, he'd just tear it up and toss it into a trash bin that was already full of other discarded drafts. Rizzo was used to this kind of messy creative process. He had made a name for himself as a musician in his home country of Hungary over the last decade. He'd written more than 40 musical compositions for various singers and artists, and a few of those had been really successful. So Rizzo, he knew his talent, and he knew he had a way his music could change people's lives. But recently, despite trying hard for different iterations of music and allowing his messy process to take hold, he just couldn't come up with any new work whatsoever, because mainly he was stressed out. Because at this point in 1932, Rizzo and many other people in the world, they were nervous about the state of the world in the future, because there was really violent political views growing across Europe, and especially in Germany. We know them as the Nazis. It was still 7 years before World War II, but at that point, Hitler and his Nazi party were gaining power, and a lot of people were nervous about this, and Rizzo was of the Jewish heritage. They were worried about the political views of the Nazis and everything. The word of mouth was spreading about how evil that these people were. And his creativity was thusly affected. Shortly after that, in the 20s and the 30s, the world was in the middle of the Great Depression, which also tied into a lot of his mindset. So there was terrible economies, mass unemployment, and back in his home country of Hungary, things are especially getting bad and worse by the day. Banks and businesses were closing. More than a quarter of their population was unemployed and living in extreme poverty. So Rizzo had moved to Paris, where he could find more opportunities. And Paris was the mecca of art and creativity in all of Europe. So, though the world had felt depressing, Rizzo thought that his creative energy would inspire him to do something amid all the darkness in Paris. So by now, Rizzo sighed and leaned back and looked at his tiny, drafty apartment, and he'd been here for months. His fortune certainly had not changed. He didn't have any work. He still couldn't seem to write anything good, but he kept going at it. He kept trying over and over to write something, and immediately would tear it up and throw it away because it just didn't live up to his standards. He'd finally get more frustrated, and he finally decided to give up. He put his hands in his head and said, I just can't do this anymore. And it seemed like the harder he worked, the harder he tried to ignore the despair and sadness of the awful things going on in the world, the worse he felt internally, and the worse his work was. He felt so bad, he physically felt ill from trying to bottle up all these emotions and try to get all these thoughts and feelings, inside instead of letting them go into his artwork.
Dang, man.
And eventually, I said this is kind of a sad story. But eventually, he worked through this process, and suddenly he knew he couldn't do it anymore. He could not keep this stuff bottled up. So what do artists do? They put their pain into art. So it was in that moment that Rizzo exhaled and let all the anguish he'd been trying to push away wash over him. Sadness and fear and the quiet depression just came in and took over, and he couldn't fight it anymore. He just suddenly, in that moment, started writing. His pen flew across the page. Wave after wave, every terrible emotion hit him. And when it was done, he looked at what he had written. He was covered in goosebumps as he ran to his piano in his drab apartment and played the notes that he had just written. His fingers flew across the keys. Very slowly, a sad melody began to fill the air. It was so beautiful and so sad that he actually felt like crying as he was playing it. And when he was done, he sat back in his chair, and now the tears flowed freely from his eyes. His heart was pounding in his chest. He knew that he had to get some air or he might actually pass out. He went outside to catch some air, and he was walking, hoping the fresh air would snap him out of that emotion. And the Paris streets were dark, gray, and cold, just like the rest of the world. And his new melody continued to ring in his ears. He was thrilled that he'd actually wrote something real and something powerful for the first time in what seemed like a long time. It was such a tense expression of his own sadness that it hurt. Shortly into his walk, fate intervened. He heard somebody call his name from behind. And when he looked up, it was one of his old good friends from the same country of Hungary. His name was Laszlo, and he rushed up to him. Right away, when Rizzo saw his friend, he felt himself lighten up a little bit. He liked Laszlo. They were both from Hungary, of course, and they were both in Paris trying to change their fates, change their outcome, and make art and a good name for themselves. But neither one of them had done anything of note yet. But as soon as Laszlo reached Rizzo, Laszlo and Rizzo, I don't know, that's what their names were, like legitimate, that's their names. Yeah. So he could tell that Rizzo could tell that Laszlo had something, it seemed really upset about something too. And his friend told him that his fiance had just ended things with him, and he was completely heartbroken, also out for a walk to clear his mind. Think about how this is lining up. Talk about fate hitting the songwriter. And the moment creativity comes, these two people who know each other from the same country in a completely different city, in a completely different country, both going through sadness and heartbreak, find each other again on the streets. So Rizzo told him that he was terribly sorry, and the men walked together in silence for a while. They were both lost in their own sad, heavy feelings, and neither one of them could think of anything to say to comfort each other. And without meaning to, Rizzo just began whistling the song that he had just written. And while he did this, the tune had an immediate effect on Laszlo. His eyes welled up in tears, and he began to cry. He also began to sing words. Using words from a very sad poem that he had just recently written. Rizzo could not believe his ears, because without even trying, Laszlo's words fit perfectly into his melody.
Wow.
It was so...
Creativity at its finest.
So yeah, goosebumps. Just goosebumps. So, as the men went So as this impromptu collaboration began, the men went from this really dark, gloomy mood to a purely excited one based on their creativity. They were so inspired that they rushed into a nearby restaurant and sat down to work out the rest of the song. And before they knew it, it was done. They had written an entire composition with Laszlo's lyrics and Rezo's music. And the song was about someone whose lover had just died and their desire to be reunited with them. When they finished, they wanted to hear it played aloud. So they asked the restaurant's resident musicians, because in those days they had like, instead of having radio playing, they didn't have that back in the day. They actually had a live person there playing guitar, playing music, playing piano, whatever. So they just took the sheet music up and said, "Hey, play this." And a musician.
Yeah, I kind of miss that type. Like,
Yeah.
the Fayette County Mall has a piano.
Yeah.
You're sitting in there, but no one does anything no more.
Yeah, well,
Like, it was kind of cool.
The last
when
time-
people played that while you're
yeah.
just
Last
walking
time I was
around.
in there, there was somebody really good playing on it. It was Christmas.
That's
It was
cool.
Christmas time, Christmas shopping or whatever. But so for the first time, they heard their composition played out loud. And pretty soon they knew that they were onto something that didn't exist just a mere hours ago was blaring in a crowded restaurant. And as far as they could tell, everybody inside was loving their song. Some of the restaurant patrons actually cried. Others closed their eyes and kind of swayed to the sound of the melody. It was what Rezo was hoping his music would do: touch people. It truly affect those who heard it. They looked at each other, and for the first time in days, both of them smiled. I'm gonna fast forward to this just a little bit, because it's like 6 pages, and I want to get to the craziest part. So he took the song and tried to get it sold, and eventually, it took a while, but eventually it did sell. He thought it would bring him fame and money or whatever, but it didn't do anything. He never heard it on the radio, saw it on the charts, or heard it in restaurants or anything. It was like it never existed at all. Like the song just disappeared, and it crushed Rezo. It crushed him even more. This is the line that gets me. This is the line that gets me, because when you know you write something great, you feel it. And when you know it's good, you know it's good. This line and this thing absolutely crushed me to write. It was at this moment that it upset and defeated him more than any before, because he knew he had written it, and he knew that he had gotten a small taste of hope, and it felt worse to fail even after that moment. It's just crazy. The rest of his life, the rest of Rizzo's life, and the state of the world also got worse too. The Great Depression was going strong, and Hitler got more and more popular and got more and more power. And people started to wonder at that point if there was going to be a war.
Yeah, because it was right around the break of World War II.
Yep, it's coming. Rizzo, the rest of the world sank deeper into their fears and worries and just kept praying that something would change. 3 years later, the spring of 1935, Rizzo had went home, back to his home country of Hungary. He was walking down the streets, capital city of Budapest. He was on his way to a friend's house, but as he walked down the sidewalk, he heard a song coming out of an open window. He stopped, and his heart sank. His heart began to pound in his chest. He knew the song. It was his.
That's cool.
A lady was playing it with her window open while she was cleaning. So one of the companies that he had sold it to had produced it and put it on records. Actually, before it wasn't even a record at that time. It was before what predated the record was like wax things. He had no idea why he was hearing it. As far as he knew, no one had ever been that interested in the song, but it was completely shocking. I mean, he didn't know why his song was playing on the radio. It just meant that it was on the airwaves and being consumed by the public, and it was incredible. So he stood there the entire time and listened to his whole song playing on the street for the first time. It's like for the first time hearing it out in public. And when it was done, he was absolutely happy and beaming. Even at such a sad song, his creation made it out. And after that, for months, Gloomy Sunday was everywhere. It exploded. Rizzo heard it at social gatherings, streaming from more people's windows, street performers playing it, restaurant people playing it, at concert halls, venues all over the city. And by the end of the year, there was hardly anybody in this whole country that hadn't heard or loved the song. The papers even produced. I got pictures and everything. It is a newspaper clippings was showing it being played in England and France and as far away as the United States. His song made it all over the world.
Hey.
Yeah. He thought he'd actually done it.
Is it in English?
Yeah. Well, they had it
Or
translated.
is it in his?
They had it translated. Like I said, there's two really famous Americans that recorded it. I'll get to it to the end. His dream had been successful, becoming an internationally recognized composer and a hit song. A few months later, on the morning of February 1936, Rizzo left his apartment and was heading out for the day. And on his way down the street, he passed a newsstand and noticed that one of the headlines mentioned his song, Gloomy Sunday. Initially, he was really excited to see that it was getting some press again. So,
Was that what he named the song?
the name of the song was Gloomy Sunday, and it was named after several things. The afternoon or the night that walk that they met on, it was kind of gloomy and dreary out, and also because of the theme. That was the day of the week, but it was also like the feeling of the song was very dreary and gloomy or whatever. It was named something else, and they changed it to that before it was sold and published. He saw it, and I saw a headline of it, and went and grabbed one of the newspapers, and as soon as what he initially thought was good press was not. The article was actually saying it was so terrible that Rizzo's first reaction thought he read it wrong, so he read it again and again. But each time he read it, it was saying the same terrible thing, and so Rizzo started to panic. He quickly shut the paper and began looking around him, and he saw a few other people who was there at the newsstand where they were reading the paper too. And they were talking to each other in hushed voices and started pointing at the headline about his song. And Rizzo just stood there listening as the unsettling murmur and a feeling of wave of absolute horror wash over him. Over the next month, more and more headlines about his song continued to appear in papers, and it was like each day they only got worse. Then the story went international. The Catholic Church even spoke out against his song. And then the police got involved. One afternoon in March of 1936, Rizzo was sitting by the piano, staring down at the keys. He knew he should be writing something, but instead he was just filled with dread. It was like every day since he first read the first dreadful headline, and then suddenly there was a knock at the door. When he got up and answered it, a cold sweat broke out all over his body because it was the Budapest police, and they wanted him to come down to the station.
What the hell?
So his pulse raced, his his hands were shaking, but at this point he wasn't surprised because he felt that writing Gloomy Sunday had been a horrific mistake. As it would turn out, Gloomy Sunday had been a very shockingly impactful song, just as Rizzo thought and meant it to be. But over the course of the last year, police had begun finding copies of the sheet music or its lyrics written in suicide notes, or the actual song still playing, looping at death scenes. Suicide scenes across the country and across the world. Dozens of people across Hungary, across Europe, across the United States had taken their own lives while listening or having listened to or having referenced his song. The deaths were so widespread, that the Archbishop of the Catholic Church actually wrote a letter to the general public begging them to stop hurting themselves and to stop listening to the song. There were multiple bans of the song itself all across Europe, England, the United States. The song was banned from public radio. You could not listen to it at all unless it was just the instrumental. They took the words out of it. And eventually even the instrumental got banned eventually because people knew the song too well.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So people are just offing themselves to this
It's
song.
so sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so powerful and so sad. Yep. So when the police came and got Rizzo, they took him downtown to Budapest, and they basically demanded that he stop all sales of his song from that day forward. And he agreed, but he wasn't the only songwriter. He had to contact his musical partner Laszlo and get his agreement too. He did. But Laszlo had a story to tell himself. So Laszlo was especially grief-stricken by this whole entire thing because his fiancée, who had broken his heart on the day that he wrote the song, the poem that Laszlo started reading initially that fit the melody so well was written about his fiancée that just broke his heart. She also was one that took her life. And the day that she died, she sent a telegram to Laszlo, and the only thing that the telegram said was Gloomy Sunday. And she had committed suicide too because she knew it was about her, and apparently it was going through a rough spell in her life too.
That's awful, man.
Yeah. So no one knows why Gloomy Sunday potentially caused the sudden wave of deaths across the world. One theory, and it's also my theory too, is that there were already suffering across the world from the Great Depression, and feeling a hopelessness was worsening in the political climate.
It was a bad time.
Yeah, the political climate of World War II, all this stuff going on. And it just formed a coincidence of sorts, or the song was just an unfortunate trigger to people's emotions.
Yeah.
As for Rizzo, let's get to the main guy that I've been following this entire story. He was devastated by the legacy of his song. Even though it didn't technically live up to his original version, it did deeply resonate with people and was a hit. And over the years, despite all the negative accusations of the song, it had been translated in 28 different languages across the world. It was even performed in America by legendary singers Frank Sinatra and Billie Holiday.
Oh, yo, Frank
Sinatra and Billie Holiday.
Is it still out there?
Jazz singers, yeah. They changed it into a jazzy type, yeah. Initially, there was an estimate in the first year that it started making headlines in the paper of over 20 suicides that were tied to the song or referenced the song Gloomy Sunday across the United States and Europe. In the years that have followed, however, the lore around the song has grown, and some estimates put the death toll in the triple digits.
That's all.
Those numbers are always hard to verify, though. But Rizzo, he never wrote another hit. It broke him, and ultimately, he followed in the footsteps of his listeners.
Oh.
He tried to jump out of a window of his 8th floor apartment on another overcast, gloomy Sunday, and he survived. They found him hanging in his hospital bed. He had hung himself from his hospital bed cables 2 days later.
Oh my God.
And
that took him.
That's the story. And he died. He didn't die till the 1990s.
Oh, so he had 2 failed attempts. Okay.
Well, he tried to jump out of a window. He survived. They took him to the hospital. And when he regained consciousness 2 days later, he wrapped his neck around all his hospital wires and IVs and stuff and hung himself from that. Threw himself out of his bed so it would hang him. Because I guess he broke his back and broke his leg, so he couldn't stand up. But he took his arms and wrapped the stuff around his neck and threw himself off his hospital bed and killed himself that way. Because the first attempt didn't work.
So he threw himself off his hospital bed.
He didn't die till the 1990s either.
What
He
kind
was
of?
60,
I guess the
60
stuff they
something
had him
years
hooked
old.
up to.
I guess.
So he broke his back.
Well, I don't know that for sure. I just know that he fell from 8 stories, so he had to break his legs, break his back. He broke something.
Yeah, that's a far drop to survive.
And he survived long enough.
He didn't take this as a sign that I should
Yep.
keep going.
Yep. Nope. 2 days. He was an old man by then too. He was in his 60s or 67. Well, I might have been older than that. I don't know. I have to look that back up. But yeah, he was an old man and still like that. The torture of that song got to him. I guess that's the history of the world's possibly deadliest, most referenced song. And I'd just like to preface that by saying,
So sad, man.
I'd like to preface that by saying if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. Listeners, anybody who's made it through this far in the podcast, first of all, and you're not alone. There are many your loved ones to reach out to. There are organizations out there to call. Just don't do anything that you can't take back. You can always fight for your next breath, and yeah, you can fight to live. Tomorrow can be better. It can be, and hopefully it will be for you if you're in that situation. Just don't do anything stupid. That's my little ending point for that. I don't know. I think it's a fascinating story, and it's just crazy how fate and creativity lined up for all this, this stuff to happen. It's really, really weird that it became what it did.
Yeah, man. Always go out, reach out to someone, because unfortunate outcome is you will hurt more people committing your, committing to your
Right.
hurt and your pain. But as days go by, it eventually will get better. Through, and it might not be tomorrow or it might not be next week, but eventually it will get better.
Yeah. That's it.
Always strive for the future.
Yeah. But yeah.
You never know what it holds.
But it's crazy. It's crazy the impact and the worldwide growth of, like I said, this.
A song,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know. Like I said,
Is it still out
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Can I hear
You
this?
can't play it on the podcast though. They play everybody that I've ever seen. There's only like 3 videos, maybe 4 videos that I could even find on it on YouTube, but they can't play the song. You cannot play it unless it's the instrumental. So I can't put it in here. I can put the instrumental in there, but I can't put anything but the lyrics whatsoever. It is re-copyrighted.
So it's just called Gloomy Sunday?
Yeah, look at your boy Frankie Sinatra, and that's the most famous ones that did it was Frank Sinatra and Billie Holiday, and for the American versions, that one is translated in English. There are some newer people that did it too within the last 10 or 15 years. Those probably are the 2 iconic ones in America.
I personally can't talk about, health, mental health, all that stuff,
Yeah.
because I don't exactly get too sad or depressed.
Right.
But I do know that for most people, it is a super hard battle.
Yeah.
It's it's not just it's not a physical war, it's a mental war.
Right.
And so all I can really say is, might be a little bit, lack some tact. Just stick with your loved ones.
Yeah.
Stick close by them.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
try to
Frank
find the
Sinatra's
positives in
version,
life.
It's just called Sunday.
yeah.
And just try to find the positives in your life. And
I mean, I know that's hard. It's hard for a lot of people too. That's in that mindset. Like I said, I've been mentally there. Thank goodness. I never went over anything above and beyond that. So I can't really speak to in depth. God, I hate how when I get tired, I get so red, man. The more tired my body fights it, I just get so red. But anyway, long story short, I've been there mentally on a small level, thoughts of it
Uh,
without any action.
yeah,
And,
I have to.
and
But like, I think it's just human.
to a certain,
in a
yeah,
sense.
sometimes I can agree with that, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like
I have been there too, though.
I know, I get it. I do. I'm thankful that I didn't have anything but rudimentary means to possibly take any actions. You know, I don't
Right.
have any,
Right.
I don't have any craziness. You know, I don't really like guns or anything like that or whatever. I can't, I would not, I would be lying if I said I'd never thought about self-harming myself. It is a small milliseconds of thoughts, and I get rid of them. Thankfully, I'm able to do that, but it also makes me understand it a little bit easier that there are people that can't, that can't get it out of their can't feel better. I'm extremely lucky. That's the only thing. It's the only way I can put it.
Yeah.
That I continue to go with the same things that cause the thoughts to begin with, because it's not like that ever stopped. I'm not famous. I'm a nobody still. Still feel like that was the reason why I was put on this planet, but it's obviously not. So, like I said, I don't know what else to say on it, but
Yeah.
there's
Always reach out to somebody.
yeah,
Yes.
there's always people to talk to.
Don't sit in your dark thoughts and fight to get out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Because the outcome of you fighting
Some-
is way better than the outcome of acting, or not acting, but action. My bad.
Right.
To the wrong word. Action.
But
in my, it just will to me, because I can sort of understand it, but at the same time,
right.
just for me, and mind you, I had a shitty childhood. I had a real bad childhood.
Right.
I grew up with a dad who pawned my shit, sold my shit, called me a bunch of words.
Right.
Piece of shit dad. But I did have a good mom, so there was a positive there.
Right.
But like, generally speaking, grew up poor, middle of bumfuck nowhere, and like lived near a bunch of crackheads.
Crackheads are fun
It's just
sometimes.
It's just kind of like, when I hear these stories, I'm kind of like surprised, like, how the fuck did I not turn out like
Right.
people like them? Like, how the fuck does that happen?
Right.
But everyone's different, obviously. So
Right. It's the great thing about humanity is we're all different, but yet in the same breath, we're all the same. That's how we can understand. And if we stop to understand, I think the world would be a better place overall. Because we all have empathy, we all have sympathy. Well, I mean, some people don't, psychopaths and crazy, stuff like that. But
yeah.
they lack
I
that
get what you
ability.
mean.
They lack that ability. But for the most part,
I think
the majority of humanity has the ability for empathy and sympathy. And if we use that more than we use any other emotion, I think overall it would be a better place. Be
I
better
think
off than we
also-
are now anyway.
I think also
Right.
that, like, we should try helping each other. Obviously, that's like the main thing.
Right.
And like, this is towards the modern day specifically, because the modern day is really bad for this. Help people, like, actually help people, and not just encourage their like illness and all that shit. Do not. This just stands for like not even just depression and all that, just like all medical fields.
Yeah.
Because playing into like their sadness, delusions, or whatever, that's gonna do more harm to not just them, but to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's like help organizations too. They kind of just fumble with that shit nowadays.
Yeah.
Like they
I
they
think
don't
it's
care
'cause of
about it
money,
anymore.
Man.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
definitely,
it's
still-
money.
yeah.
If they keep coming
It's-
back, then they keep making money.
Yeah.
It's like
There's no profit in.
so dumb.
There's no profit
It's
in a
so
healthy
dumb.
healthy happy person. There's only profit in
No,
what you can
yeah,
sell
we're
to
all
them
happy
when
and
they're
healthy.
when they're not. Yeah. That's
We're all
sad.
happy and healthy. Medical field don't get nothing.
Yep. My thing is, like, if you look at the numbers, that's the thing that gets me, man. Is overwhelmingly, it's young males that the suicide numbers are like triple, quadruple anything
Yeah.
else. It's young males, young men that, you know, possibly just, I don't know. It's like it does affect females, depression and all this other stuff, but their numbers of suicide and suicide attempts are way lower.
I think it's because men are
We internalize too much.
and are not forced, but looked upon as we should
Yeah,
not show that side.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
yeah.
Like
Not just, yeah, not
it's
just
not
that, though.
masculinity
Yeah.
to cry.
I guess.
It's not
I feel like-
masculinity to be depressed.
Yeah,
I feel
It's
like
not
the
like,
demon.
you know.
I
yeah.
feel like the demonizing of sexes, like men and female, like now, especially online, it's bad for like young men, because you know boomers don't really look at online. They don't really, you know, pay attention to that. So they're not affected that much compared to, you know, the young generation.
Yeah.
So when young men are, you know, having to deal with fucking people demonizing their, you know, gender, telling them awful people, that's gonna contribute to that a lot.
Yeah.
Because those younger generation is online.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at stuff. They're gonna look at Twitter posts and see that they got like 600K likes for saying that all men are rapists or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel
Like-
like that could play a big part in it too. But even historically speaking, even before the internet, it's always been young men that their suicide numbers have always, since the beginning of records, been higher than any other thing. And I do.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
Yeah, I do.
But
I
I
do
think, like-
think that it has a lot to do with that. We internalize a lot because it is definitely looked down. Like as a creative person, I am soft-hearted. It's just fact. I have to be in touch with myself, my emotions, and brave enough to put my emotions on paper, in song, in lyrics, in short films, to share to the world. And there is a piece of me in everything that I do. Literally, that's a bravery on a certain level. But it is also a beta male, to show weakness, to show emotion, to show this very looked down upon in general. For that, is that acceptable? I don't think so. I think because it takes a certain amount of strength to put yourself out there like that. It truly does.
Yeah.
But in
We're
general,
all human, so what does it matter?
But I'm just saying, in general, that's how it's going to be looked at. You're not a strong alpha male if you're going to, cry, or you're going to write about how sad you are, or write about you're just not. It's not. It's fact that it's not looked upon that way, and that's reality of
I have
the
a
stupidity of
concept for
the
these
way the
people.
world is these days.
I have a concept to these people. Emotion, depression, it's not just, you
Yeah.
know, it's unisex.
Yeah.
They should accept it.
I agree. But like I said, that it's just fascinating to me that the numbers are that way, and that's the only thing I can come up with is why the numbers are skewed that way is because we're expected to not be that way, to be more in,
Right.
to keep things in.
I feel like what the
And-
people that look down upon on it is fighting their own sort of battle with themselves too. That's like a lot of it.
Yeah,
Like the average
It's like-
bully is always fighting
like-
his own demons at home.
yeah,
It's a coping mechanism,
yeah.
Yeah.
basically.
And that's what.
Which sucks. Like
That's why.
I can't find nothing else.
Yeah, that's why. That's
than
what I
that,
always
like-
use my creativity for, man, is to get it out. If I kept it inside all the time, I'd be worse off than what I am. That was my release
Right.
instead of being a bully or being hateful. I mean, I'm hateful sometimes too. I'm stupid, but regardless, that's how I get my stuff out instead of keeping it all in and just letting it build until I explode or whatever. Even if I'd never show the world about it, I get it out. I write it on a piece of paper, or type it up, whatever, delete it, and get it out of my head, out of my system. I feel better.
It's like healthy
Yeah.
though, to do like that. too.
Yeah,
Really healthy.
yeah. It's a way of getting it
I think
out.
People need to do that type of way too.
Yeah.
Like, find a healthier outcome.
Yeah. Ultimately, you got to find what works for you, because you know what
Right,
works for
right.
somebody ain't gonna work, might not work for you. Everybody's an individual, but there's professionals out there that can help you find what will work for you, and that's another thing,
And
man.
a loved one too.
Yeah, loved ones can.
Love is a big ordeal.
Yeah, somebody that truly cares about you and won't necessarily judge you for what you're going through, but care about the person more than the situation and be able to help you.
Mhm.
But like I said, not every family, not every person has that in their life.
No,
They don't.
not a lot.
Yeah.
And
No.
so, I mean, it's very difficult, and money-wise too, it's hard to reach out to professionals. I definitely understand all that, but there's even a dang church or something, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know
I just say
how to tell people to get help, but I just know
Like,
just don't give up. That's
Just find
that's the
your
only
passion.
thing. Yeah, just don't give up.
Find your passion, whether that be, you know, some people can use YouTube like
Yeah,
as a way of escapism. Like people watching other people like cheering and like, you know, the amount of people I see in like comment sections and stuff saying that they helped them have a smile or laugh,
yeah.
and like a lot of like that's like a great way to cope, you know.
Yeah, it's weird, crazy world out there, bruh.
Remember, you're always important to somebody, and you're important to yourself.
Yeah.
With that includes this episode of Midnight Enigmas. Hopefully you all found a story in there that entertained you. Actual stories and points. Hopefully y'all were entertained. Let us know in the comments below what y'all think. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and check out all the other links below. Our solo channels, individually, go to those, and hopefully you'll find something there. Did a lot of talking points. Hopefully y'all like this type of format, the 3 ghost stories. Also, we changed it up a little bit.
Just trying stuff out.
And yeah. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. We love you and thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. This has been Midnight Enigma. Peace.
Yeah.
now, fuck off. There's a tick up my ass.
Tick up my ass.
About
In his
the
prison
fucking
purse.
I was crying. I was laughing. That shit was so fucking funny.
Andrew's dead.
And it was so